Welcome to the Kickback Sunday morning with the old man at the old man's corner. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in the world today. Last night I rented a movie over on Prime Video. It's called Citizen Vigilante. And it's basically about the things going on in the world today, the immigration or migration, as you would call it, and then the cultural upsets that are going on around the world. We have seen in our experience a lot of it here in the United States. Many other countries are experiencing it as well. It has become a very big problem in some places, especially people move to different places, different countries, and they come to those places to better their lives or to find some enrichment in their lives. But then they bring their cultural and religious beliefs with them. And instead of assimilating to those places where they have come to get freedom of those things, they begin to use that cultural and religious beliefs and try to often force their beliefs into the culture of the places they've went to. That doesn't seem to work. It never has through the years, through mankind's efforts to rule each other and to live together with each other. We all live by a different set of rules, us as individuals and us as a group and us as a nation, and those type of things are all near and dear to us, and to see them being destroyed and nothing, government's not doing anything to help. But I guess that's what governments basically are. They've come to the point to where they are just that. They don't see it as their responsibility. Their responsibility is to go to Congress or whatever and make money rather than to do what they were elected to do. And in most cases, they weren't even elected to do. They were installed by even more evil people. But today I especially want to talk about this movie I rented. This takes place in Europe. The movie does, but it can be just as well been done here as well. And we're finding a lot of the life that we are living. Some of us who don't live in the larger cities and places where there's been a lot of resettlements don't experience it as much. We see it on TV like everybody else, TV around the world is different, So here in the Americas, we talk trash on each other in other countries, and in other countries they've led others to believe that America is one of the worst places in the world. But when they come here, a lot of them find that it's not what their media was telling them, and if it was one of those worst places, then why is everybody trying to come here? So it just kind of makes sense that the media is kind of a problem in every country. They want to express the views of the government that's in that country rather than the people of the country. I know growing up, as I grew up, in the 60s and 70s, we had an influx of immigrants. They legally came here, though, and especially in the small town I lived in, we had an influx of Vietnamese and Laotian people, and they were very, very strong and they believed and worked, and they worked hard. Sometimes, you'd find like 2 or 3 families living in one area, one building, in one house even, but they were hard workers, and then they would share their proceeds, and then they could split up and get other houses and things like that. And they brought parts of their culture, their foods and stuff, but then they didn't try to force any religious beliefs on people. And we tended to all get along, you know. In the small town I was from, it was kind of strange for a while. We had Vietnamese nightclubs and things like that, which seemed a little odd to me growing up, you know, in rural America. But you know, it gave them a place to congregate and to enjoy each other as well. Lots of places in the United States now are experiencing cultural shifts because of the influx of people, whether legal or illegal. I think to most of us, especially to us older folks, have a sense of pride, American pride, and that tends to offend and upset us a little bit, that we're seeing our culture being trashed, and then others coming in and destroying those things that mean a lot to us, like American flags and the American way of life, and people robbing and stealing. I don't think any country should have to do with that. I see, you know, like today, Spain is dealing with some of that stuff because the people that are running Spain decided it was like America was 4 years ago. They throw the doors open and let them come in, and then once they get there, they find out that they're kind of hard to handle, because you don't have, your country is not set up to handle that type of thing, that big an influx and that big a cultural influx. But that's just one of the things I want to talk a bit about today. But I'm going to talk about, you know, us as individuals. Well, we have an opportunity to do what we can do as far as this goes. We can stand back and let it take place and then watch our world be destroyed, or we can share messages and do what we can. You know, there's some things you're seeing a lot of now, especially in the northern states. A lot of, I guess you call homegrown Americans, starting to stand up and say, no, we're not going to let you, you know, occupy and take over this country. And that's kind of to me, that's the American way. You got to stand up and you got to take action. If you can, you know, you should, or you should feel you should, because the American way of life will be destroyed. We now have a leader in the government now, a great president who's trying to handle a lot of these things through his different agencies, and he's doing a good job. But it's going to take a while. It doesn't happen overnight, and we just got to keep having faith that this is what's going on. You know, right now you're getting people such as the Republican Party being split a lot because you have these social media people that at one time they were all for all this stuff, and now all of a sudden they're all against the president and what he's doing. I don't understand that, except for the fact that I guess all I can assume is there is some type of financial backing for them so that they can make those likes and clicks. But I don't know. I just find it odd that the sudden shift in thoughts and in actions. But also, I just wanted to talk a little bit about ourselves and our relationships. That if at all, we need to keep our families and our friends close and keep in contact and speak with each other once in a while and share your knowledge and wisdom and understanding and share God's word. Some may not want to listen, and that's okay. You can just plant a seed, and maybe somewhere along the way it'll grow. Seen this many times in my life, just simply allowing people to understand how you feel or the things you feel about, and allows them to decide whether they believe or want to incorporate that in their lives. And often just that simple word, just simple understanding this is what you believe, and you're just sharing it with them, and that gives them an opportunity to think about it and then possibly share it with others, and then it moves on along in the world. And we need a lot of that in the world today. I also today want to thank a lot of my family and friends that have been following me on Facebook and such, and on here. I haven't posted anything in quite a while, but I thought this was a lazy Sunday, so I'll just get in here and do something, and I feel a little bit better today than I have in a while. And I want you all to know I love you, and I appreciate you, and I pray that each of you has a great day and a great weekend, and that your hearts are comforted in the knowledge that Jesus is the Christ, and that God watches over each and every one of us, and indeed He is in control. And even in the midst of all this chaos, God is in control. So be watchful, be prayerful, be thankful, be kind. So I guess I'll talk to you later. Thank you much for watching, and talk to you later. Have a great day.